Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay, fine. So, yeah, so this is week 3, and in this week we will solve some problem uh, by using the MATLAB programming. Okay, so we will do some problem and we will also try to discuss assignment 3 in this week. Okay, so let's start. So one sample problem which I selected, we will discuss this assignment. Okay, so first I will try to solve this problem. So suppose there are three bars. Wait 1 minute. I think I have already copied it. So yeah. So first I will say like first try to solve by yourself. Then I will try to discuss. Okay. So take 2 minutes. Then we will try to solve this problem. Should I solve by myself or will you try it? Tell me.
You solve, sir, actually.
Okay,
Will take.
fine. Okay, first I will solve it. Okay. So here you can see that there are three elements.
And can we get this note after finishing this lecture?
What? Please repeat.
This note, sir, whatever, not whatever you
Note,
are
note. Okay, yeah.
writing.
Actually, in my YouTube lecture, which I have already shared the link in that sheet. So I have already shared the note link, so you can get the access of that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
and at the end of this mentoring tutorial, I will also share this link. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So here in this problem, it is saying there are three bars. Okay, bar one, two, three, and it has also given three joints, one, two, three, and it is saying find all the reaction forces at ends and displacement at point three. Okay. So first, what will I do is you already know that in this case we always okay wait okay. So you can see that there are three bars. So suppose we are taking one general element which has marking like this I and J, and this is the element E. So for this particular element we already know that we can write a stiffness matrix of this particular element is like this K1, I mean suppose it is a E, so KE minus KE minus ke and plus ke. Okay, so you can see that there are three bars. Okay, so for one bar, so bar number one, what will be the stiffness matrix? We can write it like this: k1 minus k1 minus k1 and k1. Okay, similarly for k2 bar. Okay, for k2 bar, I mean I'm talking about this bar. So what will I write? Same thing, k2 minus q2, I will write in the bracket so that we'll be sure that it is not a raised to the power. Okay, so minus k2 and k2. Similarly for bar 3, what will be the stiffness matrix? We can write k3 minus k3 minus k3 and k3. Okay, so yeah, so you can see that there are three joints, 1 2 and 3. So for marking of if I want to mark this bar number 2, so what will I write? I can say I can see that for this bar, for this I'm talking about, for this bar, what is the numbering? You can see that the numbering is for this bar is like this: 1 3 and 1 3. Similarly for bar number 1, what is the marking? 1 3. So 1 3 1 and 3. Similarly if I talk about the bar 3, so what will I write? So here you can see that I should mark here like 2 here and 3 here. Okay, similarly 2 and 3. Okay, now what should I do? All these are local stiffness matrix of each elements. Now I have to write the global stiffness matrix. So what will I write? Capital K. So I have to merge all these three stiffness matrices. So I have to mark 1 2 3. Okay, so here I will write like this for 1, for 2 I will write like this, and for 3 I will write like this. Okay, so here you can clearly see that if I want to create a matrix for k1, so I am free to extend this matrix by adding one more row and one more column here. I am talking about like this: one more column and one more row, to write a column 3, column 2, so that I can merge all these matrices. Okay, similarly I am also free to make one more row and one more column here. Okay, for 1, and I also I am free to swap these two columns so that all those compatibility will fit in this global matrices. Okay, so what will I write? If I do all those combination, then you can write like this. So here you can see that for first I have to what I have to write? 1 1. So you have to write k1. Okay, so also here you can also see that here 1 1 is matching. So what will I do? These two should be added. So k1 plus k2. Okay, I will erase this so that I can clearly write this. Okay, for 2 where is 2? So 2 is here. So here you can see that it is independent. Okay, it is independent, and also the row number 1 is missing. That's why I have to make a 0 entry here. Similarly for 3 I have to write minus k1 minus k2. Okay, for row number 2, 0. Here it will be k3, here it will be minus k3. Okay, and here it will be minus k1 minus k2, and here it will be minus k3, and here it will be, I have to extend this, otherwise here I have to write k1 plus k2 plus k3. So here you can see that I have written the global stiffness matrix. Tell me, is it correct or not? Do you have a doubt till now?
No, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so this is the global stiffness matrix. Okay, now what I have to do is I have to also write nodal displacement matrix. So what should be the nodal displacement matrix? Here it is clear that the node 1 and 2 are fixed. Okay, so node 1 and 2 are fixed. So if I want to write u1 u2 u3, so I already know that 1 and 2 are fixed, so I can write 0 0. Okay, and u3 I don't know, so what will I write? u3 as a variable. Okay, now I have to write the force matrix. Okay, so force matrix, what is the force matrix? So here you can see that this force and this force are unknown. Okay, this force and this force are unknown, but here this force is known. So what will I do is I will write 0 0 5. Okay, but this is not just the force matrix, there is also a reaction matrix. Okay, there is also a reaction force where the reaction forces are here and here. So what are the reaction forces here? So R1 and R2, and R3 is 0. So here I will write R1 R2 and 0. So later we will see that we will add this F plus R. Okay, so now I will try to extend here. Okay, so what will I do is I will do nothing but K matrix U matrix equal to R plus F. Okay, okay, so this is the problem. Okay, when you try to arrange all this, then you will get a matrix something like this: K1 plus K2 0 minus K1 minus K2 0 K3 minus K3 minus K1 minus K2 minus K3 K1 plus K2 plus K3. Okay, and we already saw that the nodal displacements are 0 0 u3, and when you add these two forces, then you will get R1 R2 and 5. Okay, so now you can see that we have three unknowns. Okay, u3 R1 and R2, and we have three equations. So in Sir's lecture we already saw that whenever we saw that displacements are known, then what we will do is we will try to strike off that rows and that columns. Okay,
Column.
similarly this rows and this column. So you will see that only this row will survive. You can clearly see that only this row will survive. Then the resulting equation will be something like this: u3 multiply k1 plus k2 plus k3. Okay, equal to what? 5. So clearly you will get u3 equal to 5 divided by k1 plus k2 plus k3. So this is simply solved. Now we have to find what r1 and r2. So in the first equation, what we will do, we will similarly we will do nothing, but when you multiply this row with this column, then what you will get, you will get this time with this time equal to r1, which means simply r1 equal to what, you can see that when you multiply this term with this equal to 0, when you multiply this with this, it will equal to 0. Then what it will survive, this time multiply this time equal to r1, then I can write minus u3 multiply what, k1 plus k2, and we already know the u3. Okay, similarly we can also determine what, r2. Okay, so what will be the r2, so you can see that minus u3 times k3. Okay, so this is the solution of this part. Okay, any doubt here, tell me. Tell me, do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So now we will move to the MATLAB programming. Okay. So whatever sir taught in the second, in the third week first lecture, so he has implemented a MATLAB programming. Okay. So we will try to explain everything in MATLAB. Okay, and then we will try to solve this problem using the MATLAB programming. Okay. Okay, I will try to make another tab. Okay. Okay. Wait 1 minute. Yeah. So this was the differential equation which sir has solved in the class. And the boundary condition was like this, u0 equal to 3 and du by dx equal to 1. And we already saw that what will be the variational statement, variational statement will be 0, and here it will be, the boundary condition is x equal to l. Okay, l can be anything, suppose l is 4 here. Okay, suppose L is 4 here in this case. So 0 to 4, and I will multiply the variation, and this is u double dash plus x square by 4 dx equal to 0. Okay, then I will apply the integration by part, then you will get v u dash 0 to 4 minus integral 0 to 4 and v dash u dash dx plus 0 to 4 v x square by 4 dx equal to 0. Okay, and here you will see when you move this side, you will get 0 to 4 v dash u dash dx equal to 0 to 4 v x square by 4 dx plus v du by dx. And when you see that here we are taking u0 equal to 3, which means that the variation, since it should be the arbitrary, so we can select as a v0 when x equal to 0. So this lower limit will become 0, okay, but upper limit will survive because we are using the Neumann boundary condition. So that's why the when x equal to 0, v becomes 0, okay. So x equal to L will survive here, okay. So this is the variational statement which we are using to solve using the finite element. So now we are using the isoparametric equations. So what we will do, we will use x as n1 x e1 plus n2 x e2 for element e. Suppose when you discretize this whole domain 1 to 4 as, not 1 to 4, yeah, 1 to 4 as 3 or 4 elements. So when you discretize this, suppose we have element, general element e, okay, general element e. So suppose we are taking e, then that we are taking as a domain as n1 x e1 n2 x e2 plus dot dot dot, something like that. Okay, so similarly what we will do, we will do as a v, okay, v is similarly as n1 v e1 plus n2 v e2, okay, plus dot 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 dot, okay. And also u ue as also n1 u e1 plus n2 u e2 plus dot 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 dot, okay. Now here n1 n2 depends on whether which type of polynomial we are selecting, whether it is a quadratic polynomial or linear polynomial. So based on that we will try to write this x, v and ue vectors, okay. So here you can see that if it is a polynomial, then I can write something like 1 minus zeta I, 1 minus zeta 2, something like that. So what did I do is, I have created a MATLAB programming, okay. I will show you. Okay, so here you can see that I have created a shape function matrix, okay. So when the degree is 2, then how many nodes will be there, can you tell me? When we are taking the polynomial degree is 2, then how many nodes will be there?
3.
3, okay. So you can see that in this code I have written something like n nodes equal to degree plus 1, and also I have initialized a symbolic for zeta, so I have written as xi, okay. And here n is a shape matrix and I have initialized it first, okay. So when you run this code, I'll first clear all this variable, okay. Okay, I am taking as a degree equal to 1, okay. Now I will run this function. So you can see that this is a shape matrix, shape function matrix, that is nothing but n, capital N, okay. So here you can see that in class you already know that it should be 1 minus zeta I and zeta I plus 1 divided by 2. So it is when the polynomial degree is 1. So this is the shape function matrix. Okay, so when you try to increase the degree equal to 2, so here you will see the shape function matrix is this. Okay, so in this code you can clearly write a shape function matrix that is nothing but capital N. Okay, and also we also need derivative of shape function matrix. Okay, so I have also created a derivative of shape function matrix. Here you can clearly see that first it will try to call this shape function matrix. Okay, the biggest advantage is when you try to create a folder and when you keep all those functions in the same folder, and when you try to call all those functions, then it will automatically run that code. So in this function what it will do is it will take degree as an argument. Okay, it can be 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, then in the first line it will try to call this shape function matrix. Okay, then what it will do, it will try to differentiate it. Okay, it will try to differentiate it. Now you will see what will be the result. Since you can already see that I have already created a degree argument, I have already given. Okay, so here you will see this. Okay, when the degree is 2, then this will be the derivative, and this is what, tell me, this
Sir,
is what?
hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, will you share this MATLAB code?
Okay, I will try to save this code in a GitHub, and I will try to link I'll try to give the link. Okay, or maybe the Google
Okay.
Drive link. Fine.
Yes. Yes. Sir.
Yeah, so now you can see that this will result a derivative of this shape function matrix. Okay, then what kind of the variable is this, tell me? This is
What,
n,
sir?
this is what?
I didn't hear your question.
I am saying that this is the shape function matrix, right? This is capital N, and this is the derivative of capital N. Then this is what?
Derivative of capital A.
This is capital B.
K. Okay. Yes.
Fine.
Ah.
This is
Yes.
capital B. Now I have to also determine the Jacobian, right? We have to also determine the Jacobian, and the Jacobian is nothing but the Jacobian is what? Tell me.
B. B dot X cap.
Yes. Okay, and x cap is what? Nodal coordinate. Okay, so I have also created a function where first it will call shape function matrix derivative. Okay, here. Okay, then what will it do? It will do the dot product of that. Okay, whatever the nodal coordinate, it will do the dot product with that. So now I will call, suppose I am taking the nodal coordinate as 0 0 1 and 2. Okay, and I will call this Jacobian. Since you can see that I have already initialized, I have already given the argument degree equal to 2. Okay, so for 2, when the degree is 2, then the nodal coordinate should be 1 by 3 matrix. Okay, because the point should be 3, otherwise it will give error. Okay, see, this is the Jacobian. It has created a Jacobian. When you do the dot product with 0 1 and 2, okay, you can clearly see that when you do the dot product with 0 1 and 2, this part will become 0, here it will become -2, and when you multiply with 2, then this two term will cancel out, then 1 will come. So that's why this Jacobian will become 1. Okay, now what is the next task? I have created the every function here. Okay, shape function matrix done, shape function matrix derivative done, Jacobian done. Now what we have to do, we have to also do the Gauss quadrature point. We have to also determine the Gauss quadrature point. What I have to do is, since there are many program is already available in the MATLAB help, but what did I do is, I simply written, when you take the number of point 2, then it will give the output like this. Okay, and when the number of point is 3, then it will give the output like this. Okay, so it will result this kind of xi points and weights. Okay, so this will also require. Now what will I do now? Yeah, so now the stiffness matrix. Okay, I have also created a stiffness matrix function. So what will be the stiffness matrix function? We'll go to that. Okay, so yeah, so this is the, when you write this thing here, suppose vi. Okay, so what is the vi? Vi is nothing but the derivative of n divided by del zeta, okay, into del zeta by del x. Okay, and this is nothing but del dn by del zeta, and when you do this, then it will become 1 by j. So which means that vi I can write like this. And what is n? What is n? Sorry, yeah, here it should be not n, it should be v. It should be v. So when you write v here, it will result dn by del zeta. Okay,
Sir,
v.
hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, how dx by dz is equals to j?
Yeah,
It should
okay.
be L, na?
No. See,
Okay.
here when you derive it, when you differentiate this thing, okay, yeah, here it should be n dat. Okay, yeah. When you differentiate, what is this? This is nothing but the n.
L by 2
Yeah.
should be this.
This will be actually the derivative of n. Okay, and that derivative as n is nothing but the b. It's
Okay.
fine. Tell me.
Okay.
The derivative of this is nothing but derivative, the dn by del zeta is nothing but b. Fine.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
so here also dn by del zeta is coming out. So because of that, since it is a scalar, then because of that, what I have to do is, I have to take the transpose of that. So I have to write v e transpose, and here it will be b transpose, and here it will be b divided by j, and one more j will come because of this. Okay, so one more j will come here. Okay, so here it will be v e transpose by j square b transpose b. Okay, so this is the v dash. Okay, this is the no. Del zeta by del x is correct, I think.
Sir, hello.
That del zeta by del
Hello.
x is correct only. 1 by j, it will be
No,
1
sir.
by j.
Del zeta by del x is L by 2, sir. I have written from this as.
Yeah, that le by 2 is nothing but the Jacobian.
Okay.
Yeah.
L by 2 is Jacobian.
Yes. Here in this case, in this particular element, that is nothing but the, when you are taking that le, that the Jacobian
Okay.
will be nothing but the le by 2. So
Okay, so
here,
you are representing the Jacobian as L by 2.
Yes. So
Okay, yeah,
here,
yeah. B dot x equal to L by 2. Okay, sir. I
yes.
get.
So here xe equal to n n1 n2 n1 n2 n3, and if it is u e1 u e2 u e3, and when you take the derivative of this with respect to zeta, then this term will become b, okay, and this term will call as this, okay. So the whole term, this is nothing but a scalar, okay. So that's why we are writing as a Jacobian.
Sir, that U1 U2 should be X E1 should not X
What?
E1 X E. That U1 U2 U UE1 UE2 UE3 you have written.
Yeah, that's why I'm writing as this is a vector. This is a vector
That
as
should be
this.
the XE1 XE2 na.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, this is the column matrix. This is the column. I mean, this is the row matrix, and this is this vector. When you take the transpose, when you multiply these two matrix, then it will result a scalar. That is a Jacobian.
I get it, but no, I'm not saying that this is wrong. I'm just saying that you have represented the X as you. You have written
Okay,
you.
okay. Actually, what I'm doing
Ah,
is here it is a nodal displacement. What I'm
okay.
representing is the nodal displacement.
So the X thing is the coordinate, na sir.
Yeah, it is a coordinate.
So if we retain the X, then it should be the in terms of X only, na, or anything else.
No, no,
Okay,
it is a vector. I'm writing is a hat
okay,
here.
okay.
Here it
Okay,
is
sir.
a
Okay.
vector. Here, what I am doing is I am assuming this is a vector, okay, and this is nothing but the coordinate points. These three are scalar actually, and these
Okay.
three scalars are the part of this vector.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. Okay, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So here 1 by j, only 1 by j will come. Earlier I did mistake, okay? Because this j is nothing but the multiplication of b and this. Okay? Okay, so del n by del zeta is nothing but b, okay. So this will be b b e, okay, into 1 by j. Okay, similarly, what is u dash? U dash is nothing but the dash du by dx. That also we will write b u e into 1 by j. Okay, now I will assemble everything here. So clearly you can see that v dash, which means that this part, so since it will be scalar, so what we will do, we will take the transpose, so it won't matter whether you are taking the transpose or not, because it is a scalar, so you can also flip it up, okay. So what will I do is, we'll try to write like this, okay, this part into b u and j times 2, there are 2 times j, so that will be j square, okay, into, here we are changing the variable, so dx, so here you can see that, so dx we can write j times del g d zeta, okay, so j times d zeta, okay. So this will be the your stiffness matrix, okay. Okay, now we will go to the code. This is your K. Okay, so this is the your stiffness matrix. So here you can see that B is nothing but the derivative. B is nothing but the derivative, and J is the Jacobian, and N is the node, which is nothing but the degree plus 1. And what will I do is, for the K local we are initializing, because we have to do the Gauss quadrature integration. So what will I do is, we are assuming so that it will populate after completing the loop. Okay, so here, based on the number of points we already called Gauss quadrature points, so it will automatically give the xi points and weights. Okay, so yeah, so first what we have to do is, we have to find xi. Okay, xi at xi point. Okay, then B. Okay, you can see that we have to find, I will minimize it. Okay, so yeah, so here you can see that for B, for B, J, everything we have to write in terms of zeta. Okay, so B, J, everything I have written in terms of zeta. So here subs function is nothing but the, it will substitute B, it will substitute in inside the B, it will substitute at the place of xi, it will substitute xii, which means that xi point is nothing but the meshing coordinates. Whatever you are taking the meshing, that is the xii point. Okay, so here you can see that the integrand, that is nothing but the d transpose B divided by single j. Here single j is because 1j will be cancelled out, so that's why it will become a stiffness matrix. Okay, now for each point, since they, if it is a 2 point, I mean it is, if it is a only linear function, or it is a quadratic. Okay, so based on that the number of point will increase. If it is a linear element, which means that you will only get 2 points and 2 weights, so this loop will run only 2 points 2 times. But when it is a quadratic, then this loop will run 2 times. Okay, so that's why it will add with the previous one. Okay, now we will see the compute that stiffness matrix. Okay, based on that degree, number of points and nodal coordinate. Okay, number of points we have not given. How many number of points should be there, tell me? Based on this variable, whatever we have initialized, how many number of points I should give?
What, sir? Again?
I am saying, what should be the number of points?
What should be the number of points for the integrand?
Yes,
It will depend which will we follow.
I've already written degree as 2, nodal coordinate as 3. So what should be the number of points?
See?
3. Fine. Okay, so here you can see that I have computed a stiffness matrix. Okay, tell me, this is exactly you got in the class whatever sir taught us. Okay, so now we will move to the force matrix. Okay, and this stiffness matrix is very easy to go compute, but the main challenge is to calculate the force matrix, because there we have to also impose the boundary condition, and also there is a integrand term. Okay, so we will move to the force matrix. Okay, till now is there any doubt, tell me?
No, sir.
Okay, Now we will move to the force matrix. Okay, so what is the force matrix? Yeah, this term we need to convert this term as a force matrix. What is the integration? Okay, so tell me, if you discretizes, what is the expression I will get? Tell me.
For V, this will be, we will go with the V transpose N transpose.
Okay, for
No, sorry, P transpose.
element wise.
No.
Okay, tell me, what will be the integrand? It will be minus 1 to 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Tell me.
V transpose N transpose.
GE transpose.
Sorry.
What you are saying? VE transpose. Oh,
V E
oh yeah,
transpose.
VE transpose, then
N transpose.
N transpose. That's it, right?
And then, and for the X, N X E.
Yeah, that will be XE square divided by 4. Okay, and
D.
ZDG. Fine. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
For that is boundary condition.
Yes. Plus this term will come. V E
Transpose.
transpose, and we have already given du by dx at x equal to L. Sir has already given that du by dx at x equal to 4 is 1. So what will I do is I will directly write as a 1. Okay, so V transpose and N transpose will come, and it will run x equal to 4, or you can say that x equal to L. Okay, so yeah, so this is the force function for element wise. Okay, now
Okay.
we will move to that, but the thing is, you can clearly see that this term will run for every element. Okay, but this term will not run for every element. For other element this term will become 0, but
Zero.
only when x equal to 4, or you can say that when x becomes L, this term will survive. So because of that, for that, what did I do is I made an exception. Okay, I made an exception for that. So you can see that this function, in this function it will take argument as a degree. Okay, what kind of polynomial you are taking? Nodal coordinate. Okay, so for each element you know that it will have a nodal coordinate. Like for first element, the nodal coordinate will be 0 1 2. Number of points will depend on the number of degree, and L, here L is nothing but the boundary point. Okay, here
Sir,
what?
a number of points is the node
Node,
number
yeah.
of nodes.
Yes,
Number of nodes.
yes, number of nodes. So number, yeah, obviously number of nodes will depend what kind of polynomial you are taking.
Yes.
Okay, so here is last element. Okay, what I am taking this is because we know that when it is the last element, then this term will survive. When it is not the last element, this term will not survive. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so because of that I will take this as a argument. Okay, now you will see that every time I have to write n matrix, j matrix, x is the nothing but the coordinate, this,
Hmm.
okay.
Okay.
This coordinate, okay, n transpose we need, okay. Term 1 is nothing but this one, n transpose x e square by 4 into Jacobian, okay. So here n transpose x square by 4 into Jacobian, and we have to also call Gauss quadrature point, okay. And term 1 integral I have in this first, I will initialize. Now what will I do is I will calculate term 1 at xi. Xi means zeta. I will calculate at each zeta. So what will I do? Here I am doing is here I am doing Gaussian quadrature here. Okay, Gaussian quadrature integration I am doing. Okay, so first time when loop is starting, first it will be 0. Okay, now it will do, it will adding one by one when loop is running, okay. So here you can see that I'm multiplying weight into this, okay. Here I think I have made the mistake in code, okay, because here another j will not come, okay, because here I have already multiplied with j, okay. So this j will not come. Am I right or not? Because I have already written term 1, yeah, this j will not come, okay. So that's it. Here j will not come, right? Yes, j comes when b comes, okay, fine. So yeah, this is the term 1. Now we need to calculate the term 2 in the force matrix, this term. But when the element is first, then this term will not come into the picture, okay. So here you can see that when this value is 1, when this value is 1, then this term will be added in the force matrix. Otherwise this if statement, or you can say that this part will won't run, okay. So similar, I mean, completely it will be force matrix equal to term 1 integral. Are you getting my point? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here you will see that when I try to run this compute force matrix function, nodal coordinate I have already given. See, 0 1 2 number of points 3, and here last element here, because since what should we, what value I should write here when the nodal coordinate is 0 1 2, then what should I write here? Is last element, what should I write? 0 or 1? Tell me.
For last element, we should write one.
No. Here the nodal
Uh,
coordinate is 0 1 2, right?
okay, so for this one, we should write zero,
0,
as this will not
okay.
contribute in that
Yes,
thing.
so we will write 0, okay. So yeah, okay, yeah, L I should write 4, okay. Here you can see that this is the contribution of the force of the first element, okay. Here it is not adding. Now if I change the nodal coordinate, number of points, degrees we will write the same, then automatically the last term will contribute, okay. Now we will move to the driver code, okay. This is the driver code where we will make some changes in that. Now tell me, do you need the cubic polynomial or quadratic polynomial only?
Quadratic
Okay, fine.
polynomial.
0 1 2, okay. 3, 4, 5. Fine. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. This is the mess, and we are taking two elements. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
This is the messing, okay? And this is the element connectivity matrix. I will tell you why
What
I
is
am
that?
creating.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Here, which means that this 1, 2, 3 is nothing but the nodes of the first element, okay, and 3, 4, 5 is the node of the second element. And here you can see that 3, 3 is repeating because 3, 3 are connecting nodes. That's why I have created one matrix for that only. Okay. Now here
Sir,
there is
can
a,
you repeat again?
I am saying I
That.
have created one element connectivity matrix, and it will help in merging two matrices because 3, 3 are connecting nodes. Okay,
Okay.
that's why because of that two matrices will add up. Okay, here first row is nothing but the nodes of the first element, and second row is nothing
Okay.
but the nodes of the second element. So that's why I have created these one matrix. Okay, so here number of elements you can see that is nothing but the size, which means the number of elements are 2. Number of nodes is nothing but the length, which means that this 3. Okay, so I have initialized k global, f global, degree is 2, number of points 3, l equal to 6, not 6. Here I am writing l equal to 4. Okay, because at l equal to 4, Neumann by boundary condition is imposing here. Okay, so here it is asking is the last element. So here you will see when l becomes 4, then here it will give 1. Okay, otherwise it won't give 1. Okay, so then it will call stiffness matrix f local. Okay, then it will add up, then we will here after. Okay, till now I will run this code till this point, then we will see the merge matrices. Okay, when I run this code till this point, then we got k global, okay, f global, and also we got the f local also. Okay, so we will first see f k global. So you will see that this is the f global, k global. Okay, okay, I think it has not run two times. Okay, we did it many mistake. Okay, wait, I think it has run only one time, so that's why it is showing like that. Okay, now we'll see that k global. Yeah, here you will see that it has populated. It is the k global. First, for first element, this part was the matrix, and for second element, this part was the matrix. But this point, you can see that this element has been added. I mean, by been shared by these two matrices. Okay, so this is the
Yes.
connecting point. Okay, now we will see the f local. Sorry, f global. Here it is the f global. Okay, now we already got the f local, sorry, f global and sorry, k global. So here it was something like this, and this part was something like this. Okay, so we already knew this point u1. Okay, and we also knew this. F1, but we don't know this part, and we also don't know this part. Am I right or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So what will I do is, I will write this matrix is something like this: K E K E F K E F sorry K E F transpose. Okay, and KF, and here I will write something like UF and U, and here I will write F and R. This whole part I will write as R, and whatever we know we will write as F only. Okay, these two parts are unknown. Okay, and these two things are known. So what will I do is, I can write Ke, okay, Ke times UF plus KEF U equal to R. Okay, I can write it. And the second equation I can write KEF transpose UF plus KF U equal to F. Okay, here I don't know this thing, and in this equation I don't know this thing. So what will I do is, I will try to find first this thing. So okay, sorry, in this equation I don't know this part. Okay, I did one mistake. Okay, whatever it is, we can also move. We can also do we using the search methodology. Okay, we will come to this point. Okay, so here what did I do is, we already know that one matrix. Okay, so what did I do is, I have assumed that part as a Ke. Okay, this part I have assumed this part as a Ke. Okay, so I have written K global. We already got the K global. Okay, that was this part. Okay, and this K global modified is nothing but the partitioned matrix. That was nothing but the partitioned matrix, and that was nothing but the 2 to end, which means that part, I mean this, what I'm trying to convey is, this was Ke. Okay, and this was partitioned part. Okay, and this whole part is nothing but the KF. Okay, and this was KEF, and this part was KEF transpose. Okay, so here you will see that K global is nothing but the 2 to end, which means that 2 to whole end, and column was also 2 to whole end. Okay, column was also 2 to whole end, and KEF is was nothing but the 1 to 2 end. Okay, 1 to whole end. Okay, and KF global modified was nothing but this part. We already know that what did I do is, we have to move this part at this side, and we have to also write the forced condition. So that's why what it becomes is f global 2 to end minus 3 times this. Okay, so then we will get f global modified. Okay, after getting f global modified, we will get u. Okay, and this I am writing it as a u partition, because we don't know what was the first element. I mean, we already know that that was the first element. So here I have written k inverse f global modified. Okay, then this is the final u, and this is the reaction force. This is the reaction force, that was nothing but the this times this will become this. Okay, so that's what we will get, the reaction force. So we will try to continue this code. Okay, so yeah, this was the code. You can see that we got all those displacements and du by dx at x equal to 0, which means that we are getting the negative value. It is obvious, because we are getting the positive displacement. So because of that, we are getting the negative du by dx. Okay, tell me, is there any doubt here till this point? Tell me, is there any doubt? Hello.
No, sir.
Yeah,
No, sir. No, sir.
yeah, we can also change this mesh. If you want to only create two elements, okay, two elements but only linear. Suppose you want to create two elements but with linear elements, what will I do is 1 2, and this element connectivity is 2 3. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to make change this degree as a 1, number of point as what, 2. Okay, l here, l is 3, oh, sorry, l is 2. Okay, everything is fine. Now I will run this code.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Go to the in the code.
where?
Sir, in degree you have defined degree equal to 1,
Yeah,
and num points are node points.
yes, node points.
Uh, if we define the degree equal to 1, can't we get the num points uh, directly from that? Because if degree equal to 1, then we know the node equal to 2,
Yeah, you
and
can
for the
also,
degree
yeah,
equal.
you can also write like degree plus 1.
Okay.
Nothing is wrong, both are correct.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
that will be actually more simplified, but anyhow, I mean, I
But
have
sir,
written.
here you have written in the comment that this is number of cost points.
Mm. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you can also write that.
No, no, I'm asking for why you have written in the comment number of cost points.
Number of Gauss points, because it will call that
Okay.
Gaussian matrix, I mean Gaussian integration. So because of that I have written.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so here you can also see that this code is working perfectly. Okay, when you are using the linear element. Okay, now you can also suppose you are using the cubic element. Okay, but it depends whether I have added this Gaussian quadrature. Yeah, I have also added that. So we can also use for the cubic element. So what will I do is 0 1 2 3. Okay, 3, and for two elements. Okay, so 3 4 5 6 and 7. Okay, so cubic elements, it's fine. Tell me, for cubic element this mesh is good. For cubic elements we need 4 points, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we need 4 points. since actually I have not added. Okay, so I have only added for linear elements and for quadratic elements, so I have not added here, so we need to add that. So that is fine, I mean we can also modify that. Okay, so nothing to worry about that. So it will not, this code will not run because I have not added the Gaussian quadrature for cubic elements. Okay, so this code will not run definitely. Fine, but nothing to worry, you can you can get the coordinates and weights from the internet. Okay, so nothing to worry about it. So this code will work perfectly. Now now we will move to the problem which was given is in assignment number 3. Okay, here, did you solve this problem by yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay,
I have
so
taught in the second part. I have solved the first part.
okay,
Yes,
second part.
I have also doubt in second part only.
Okay, fine. Fine, we will solve that also. Okay, nothing to worry.
Then we directly skip to that part
No, no,
only.
we cannot go we cannot directly go that. We will try to solve it. Okay, so because not every students are able to
Okay.
solve all those, so we'll try to discuss this thing also. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so what is the variational statement? So that will be integral v times x cube y double dash plus x square y dash minus 4xy minus 1 dx equal to 0. So we will take vx cube and we will integrate y double dash, it will become y dash. Okay, 1 to 5 minus 1 to 5, there will be a derivative and that derivative will be 3x square v plus x cube v dash y dash. Okay, plus dx plus v x square y dash dx minus 4v xy dx minus integral v dx equal to 0. It's fine, tell me,
Yes, sir.
all are correct, right? Now I will assemble all these. So you will get 1 to 5 x cube v dash. Okay, so that will be dv by dx dy by dx. Okay, and here you will see that these two terms are same except the coefficient, so that will become minus 2 x square v Hello. Hello. Are you guys here? Hello. Am I audible? Hello. 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 हेलो। अरे काहे के फोन कर दे हमरा के तारा नहीं के पता पढ़ाओ नियम। तो तू कब एक कर दे ओकरा बाद हम कइलाई। Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. I have some internet issue here. Okay. So is my screen visible? Tell me.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, fine. So, yeah, in this problem, same problem it is given, but now we will solve with the coding and will discretize this. But here you can see that it is asking to solve with only one element. Okay, we have only one element, and it has already given the coordinate. I mean, the meshing it has already given, that is 1 to 5. So we don't have to merge any element and we don't have to create any global matrix. Okay, so only one matrix is enough to solve this problem, and it has also given the Gaussian points. Okay, so now what we will do is we have already created this variational statement. Okay, so this is the stiffness matrix. Okay, this was our stiffness matrix. So we will write it as a stiffness matrix here. Okay. Okay. K here. Okay. And this part will go for the force matrix. Okay, so we already saw that we can directly write dv by dx. What we will write for dv by dx? What I can write? Tell me. Tell me what I can write dv by dx. b by j v e.
We
Fine. Okay. And dy by dx, I can write b by j and ue. Okay. Similarly, only v, I can write what? Only v I can write what? nve. Okay. And dy by dx is fine, x is fine, x I can also write as nxe, right? And y I can write what? n u e. Okay, so everything I have to substitute this thing. Okay, so if you want to solve me, so what will I do is, for only one element, what will I do? Y equal to n y hat, and I can write as, and here n I can write at n1 and n2. Okay, and for linear element I can write 1 minus zeta 1 by 2 and 1 plus zeta, or I can directly write only zeta, nothing to write like zeta 1. Okay, so zeta by 2. Okay, and now what is the dy by dx? Dy by dx is nothing but b y hat, and this is what y. What is b? Is nothing but the derivative of this with respect to zeta, and this will become minus 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. Okay, and what is dx by d zeta? Dx by d zeta is nothing but the bx cap. Okay, and that will be x2 minus x1 by 2, that will be le by 2, and here le is the length of the element. Okay, and dy by dx I can write this, and also here I have to write y. Okay, fine, everything is fine. And also I have to write dv by dx. dv by dx you can directly write 2 by, because j will come, 1 by j. So 1 by j is nothing but the j is nothing but what? le by 2. So that will become 2 by le. 2 by le b v. Okay, now now I can assemble everything directly in this stiffness matrix and force matrix. Okay, now we will go to the code. Okay, so this was the code, this is the code for assignment 3. Okay, so first we will go to the stiffness matrix. Okay, okay, so this is the stiffness matrix. So you can directly see that everything is same, but only what I made some changes is because I have to write this expression. I have to write this whole expression, x cube dv by dx dy by dx plus this whole expression I have to write. So that's why you can see that this is x cube. Okay, and what is x at xi? X at xi is nothing but the x coordinate. You can see that this is the x coordinate. And what is the x coordinate? That is nothing but the dot product of the nodal coordinate with n, that is shape function. Okay, so and what is that x at xi? X at xi means we have to substitute zeta I. Okay, zeta I at the Gaussian point at the place of x. So that is the x at xi. Okay, so you here you can see that that is x cube into b transpose into b. Okay, and divided by j. You already saw that we have to write 2 times j. Okay, and because of this dx another j will come and jj will cancelled out, so that's why only one j will come. Okay, so that's why only one j here will come. Okay, and second term is 2x square v dy by dx. Okay, so 2x square v will come outside, that will be v transpose, so that's why n transpose will come. Okay, and for dy by dx here b will come. Okay, and we will multiply with what? J will not come here because there will be only single j and this j will be cancelled out. Here j will come into the picture because here there is no such j. Okay, there is no such Jacobian, only this part of the Jacobian because of dx will come here, so that's why this j will be multiplied here. Okay, so here you can see that at the place of v and y we have to write n transpose n. Okay, so this is the integrand, this is our integrand. So when you run this code, okay, so what is the degree here? Here it is, in this problem it is saying to write the linear polynomial. Okay, so what is the degree here? Degree equal to 1. Okay, what is the nodal coordinate? Nodal coordinates it is saying only 1. Okay, well, that is 1 to 5. Okay, so nodal coordinates will be 1 and 5. Okay, and what is the number of points? Num points will be 2. Fine. Okay, now I will run this function.
Hello, sir. Your voice is breaking.
Okay,
Hello.
yeah, okay, maybe because of the internet. Okay, wait just 1 minute. It is fine now? Tell me it is fine now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, fine.
No,
So,
it's
is it fine?
yeah. For now, it's fine, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, Yeah, we will run. We have already given all those arguments like nodal coordinates, degrees, num points, everything. So now we'll run this function. Okay, so here you can see that we got the stiffness matrix. Okay, we got the stiffness matrix. So in the problem I think it is asking the k11, k12, k121 and k22, right, in four problems. Am I right? Confirm it.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what is the doubt here, tell me. Till this point, is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Everything is clear, right? This is the stiffness matrix.
Yes. I don't know what I have wrong with the method, but
Maybe you are making some mistake with the multiplication of Jacobian. Okay, because when you write this integrand, then every j will be cancelled out with the j d zeta. Okay, so maybe you are making such mistake in that, so check it. Okay, because
okay, I will check once.
yeah, I was also
Okay, sir.
making that mistake. Okay, then later I resolved it. Okay, that is very
Okay,
common
sir.
mistake. Okay, so nothing to worry about it. Okay,
Okay, sir.
yeah,
Hmm.
so this part is done. Now what is the next question, tell me.
Next is F, calculating the F or load
Okay, fine.
conductors.
Now we
You
have
can
to
say.
find the force matrix, right?
Force matrix.
Force matrix. So this is the force matrix. I will delete this. Okay, so this is the force matrix, and clearly you can see that this part we have to do it. Okay, so here there is nothing to worry about it, because there is no such exception, like we have to survive this term when x equal to l and like that. Okay, so because there is only one element, and that will completely add up. Okay, so here I have to write, I have to give the argument like degree I have already given, nodal coordinate I already given, num point I have already given. Here I have to write L. Okay, so what is the L here? Tell me, what is L here in our case? L is 1, right?
Four.
Not
Four,
4,
no, sir.
L is 1.
It's
Here L is nothing but we are giving the Neumann by boundary condition. Here we are giving the
okay,
Neumann
okay,
boundary
okay,
condition.
okay, okay.
Okay, so at that point L equal to 1 in our case. Okay, so here L will be 1, and it is asking is the, I am asking here the first element. Is first element, so obviously it will be 1. Okay, because there is no such exception, so I have to write is first element equal to 1. Okay, now we will run this code. Before that I will go through it, okay, one by one. So here you can see that this is a shape function matrix, Jacobian, and x, that is nothing but the coordinate, I mean here x. Okay, so not x here, this x. Okay, so we will need it. Okay, so n transpose we need it when you write it. Okay, in terms of this I will write it. Okay, force matrix I will write, so that will be minus. Okay, so that will be v transpose. Okay, v transpose, what is v here? N transpose, right? So n transpose and dx, dx is nothing but j. Okay, j d zeta. Okay, integral plus vx cube and that v because of that, that V transpose will come outside, so it will become x cube. And here I can write dy by dx as, what is the boundary condition there? Dy by dx at x equal to 1, that is 151 by 3, 151 by 3. Okay, so this is the case. Okay, now, and because of this V, and that n transpose will also come here, this n transpose. Fine, tell me, it's correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, here you can see that for term 1, for this term I have written n transpose into j. Okay, and minus will come here, n transpose, that is nothing but this n transpose Gaussian quadrature, because it is a linear element, so it will result 2 points. So first I have initialized it, so here the term integral will be first it
Sir,
is
your
0.
voice is breaking.
Okay,
Low. It's breaking. Your voice.
it's fine now. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
your voice is breaking now.
Hello.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So here you can see that I already got weight, okay, points, and now I have to substitute for every point. Okay, so that's why I have to run for loop. Okay, so it will add up based on the points and weight. So this is the first term, and that is nothing but what, this part. Okay, that is n transpose Jacobian. Okay, so this part is done. Okay, so now it is saying is the first element, so definitely it is the first element. Okay, now I have to substitute at the place of zeta, I have to write -1. Okay, later I had to write zeta equal to 1 because that was the right end point, but here it is the left end point when you try to substitute the Neumann boundary condition. Tell me, it's correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so here at the place of n, because we need to write n transpose, and that is in terms of, that was the in terms of zeta. So at the place of zeta I have to write -1. Okay, and also we need to write x. Okay, so at the place of x also I need to write x equal to x, zeta equal to -1. So here the total force matrix will be nothing but the term 1. Okay, that we have already written in the in the function for, I mean in the variable force matrix. Okay, so in force matrix, okay, minus, that is minus this term minus this term. Okay, so here you can see that minus 151. Okay, minus 151 by 3 x cube. So here you can see that x cube and n transpose, right? Tell me, n transpose I have already written here. Okay, so here this is the force matrix. Now I will run this code. Any doubt here till this point? Tell me.
No, sir.
What is L here? 1, right? First element, yes. here we got 52.333 minus 2. It's correct or not? Tell me. Is your answer matching? This is the force matrix.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So I think in question that it is asking what is F1 and what is F2, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So this is the answer for F1
Both
and
are in.
yeah, this is the answer for F1 and F2. Now what we have to find? We have to find U1, okay? U1 and dy by dx at x equal to 5, right?
No, sir. We have to find y at x equal to 4 and y at x equal to 3.
Okay, fine. So nothing to worry about it because we already got that
We
nodal
have
displacement, right?
just been done.
We already got the nodal
Yes, sir.
displacement, so you can easily determine it. Okay. So what will I do is I will directly run this code, okay, to find u1 and dy by dx at x equal to 5. Okay, the final solution you will solve it, okay, based on the code. I will not solve every code, okay, every problem, okay. So because this is a discussion, this is not the solution, okay. So here you can see that I have separated ke, and that is nothing but the k global k22, because in this problem what was that, it was something like this, okay. So this part we know, so I will assume it like ue here, uf, okay, and here I will assume ff and fe, fe, and here I will write ke, kef, kef transpose, and kf. I'll write this as a ue, this as a uf. Okay, so this term we already know that, this term, okay, and this part we know that. Am I right or not? Tell me. So if you expand this, or when you multiply this matrix, then you will get ke ue plus kef uf equal to fe, okay. This part you know that, this part you know that you have to determine this, okay. So what we have to do is, and also we can also write this kef transpose ue plus kf uf equal to ff, okay. You know this part, you know this part, okay, and we don't know this part, okay. So when you move the whole term. Okay, when you move the whole term, because we have to determine ue, so what will you do is ue kef transpose equal to ff minus kf uf. Okay, and ue equal to kf ef transpose inverse ff minus kf uf. Okay, from that you will get ue. Okay, and when you substitute ue here, you will get fe. Okay, so similarly, what did I do is I have written everything. So KE I have partitioned as a K global 2 2, and KF I have partitioned as a K global 1 1. So similarly KEF is nothing but the disk matrix. So KEF is K global 1 2. So UF is nothing but the transpose. UF means nothing but this solution. This solution means that what? The inverse transpose multiply FF minus KFUF. Okay, so FF we already know that KEF multiply UF, which is already given as a what? Which is already given as a Dirichlet boundary condition. So from this you can get UF. Okay, now after using the UF, you can directly find F, and F is what? F is du by dx when x equal to 5. Okay, so when you run this code, when you run this whole code, you will get the solution. Okay, oh, here I have to write u equal to, what was that, 10.33, right? Yeah, so here it is the solution. You can see that the displacement at first node, I mean the initial point, is 0.2121, and at end point it will be 10.33, which was the boundary condition. Okay, and du by dx at x equal to 5 was not given, that will be 470. Okay, so this is the solution. So you already got u, I mean you already got u, so you can directly find what should be the x, and after getting the x you can get everything. Okay, fine, tell me. Any doubt here?
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. It's clear. One, like I want to know about like Gauss point. For example, here like there is a one element
Hmm.
and Gauss point is two.
Yeah,
So
okay.
in that within that element, like integration will be done on that two locations. So uh, where should be that location? Like it will be uniformly distributed or how it will be decided?
So Gauss point is nothing but the weight times the value of function at the Gaussian points. Okay, suppose you have to integrate any function. Suppose you have to integrate a function. Suppose you have to find an area of this function. Okay, suppose you have to find the area of this function. Okay, so the Gaussian quadrature saying, like, you can find the area of this part by using two Gaussian points, by using two Gaussian points such that when you multiply the weight and when you find the value of function at this Gaussian point, then whatever the area bound by this graph, whatever the area bound by this graph will be exactly equal to the area bounded by this graph. So this Gaussian point can be determined based on the what kind of polynomial you are trying to fit. If it is a linear element, which means that it will only give 2 point, okay, it will only give 2 point. And if it is a quadratic, then it should give 3 point to fit exactly the same area bounded by the previous curve. Okay, so that is the actually logic of the Gaussian quadrature. And here in the FEA, we saw that the maximum derivative, I mean the minimum derivative required to get the very approximate and best solution is what? Quadratic and linear. Okay, and in Gaussian quadrature it has already derived for the quadratic and linear polynomial to get the exact solution. So that's why we are using the Gaussian quadrature. Is the answer of your question? Tell me.
Yes, I got it.
Yes. So Gaussian quadrature in this case, suppose in the linear element, where is the linear element? Yeah, here it is the linear element. Linear element, it is saying that at x equal to when you take the at x equal to minus 1 by root 3, and when you are taking the weight as a 1, and when you are taking the x equal to 1 by root 3, again weight is 1, then the area will be area given by this, and the integrand of the linear polynomial will be same. That is the logic. Suppose you are taking the linear element like something this, y equal to ax plus b, okay, and what will be the area? The area will be, suppose, something like this. Okay, now when you try to find the area of this function, that will be ax plus b dx. Okay, suppose when you try to compute it on the software, and you have to compute for the very large meshing, maybe the computational cost will be very high. But instead of integrating it, what you are doing is you are just multiplying something like this: w1 into f x1 plus w2 into f x2. Instead of the integration, you are doing just this thing, then computational work will very reduce very much. So that is the advantage of the Gaussian quadrature. And what it will do is, you already got 2 point, and what is the point? w1, the weight is 1, w2, that is also 2. What you have to do is, that is 1 by root 3 plus f1 by root 3, and whatever the solution of the summation of this will be very closer to the integral of this. So that is the logic of the Gaussian quadrature. Are you getting it?
Yes, I got it. Means there is a no effect of this cost point on stiffness matrix and
Why there is
yeah,
no effect?
stiffness.
Why there is no effect? There is no
Sir, it
effect of the
is
weight.